Today's collectible spot, we're having a look at the Canada Post release of, let me reach into the bag here, the Canada Post release of the Superman 75th Anniversary stamps. You get 10 permanent stamps inside, featuring on the front of the cover 5 distinct covers of Superman. Spot took the liberty of, well, Spot just happened to be shipping some stuff off, and I noticed that they had these available at the, obviously where you buy stamps. So Spot took the liberty of buying the 5, and I'm pretty sure there are only 5 to this set. There could very well be more, but these were the ones that they actually had available. The stamps inside are all the exact same. The only thing that's different is the covers on the front. You got yourself Superman number 1. Don't worry, Spot will show you the stamps inside as well. There's 10 stamps. Superman, 10 cents. Speaking of 10, there's 10-cent comics. 64 pages of action. The complete story of the daring exploits of the one and only Superman. The stamp inside, oh, by the way, on the back, on the 75th anniversary of Superman's first appearance in Action Comics number 1, Canada Post salutes this legendary hero and his Canadian roots with five commemorative stamps and 5 booklet covers. So there you go, Spot's got all 5. Featuring images from historically significant comic book issues. After Superman's introduction in 1938, his comic strip became so popular that by the summer of 1939, he had his own self-titled comic book, a first for any superhero. Superman number 1, drawn by Joe Shuster, written by Jerry Siegel. So featured on the front is the original Superman comic, Superman number 1. The stamps inside are, you're getting a lot of iconic images of Superman. There are some duplicates. We've got ourselves, let me zoom in here, you've got an iconic design of Superman, paired coincidentally enough with his more current design. And initially, while I didn't like that design, the costume has grown on me quite a bit. You can see that some of the stamps do carry on down below, as we have a couple of different designs, but then I think it looks like you get 2 of each one. Superman with electricity hitting him. Obviously with the kryptonite chain, an iconic scene. This particular one I really like, this one down here, which looks like it could be Jim Lee's drawing of Superman. And then down below we've got some additional Superman stickers. It's the silver emblem, the regular emblem, Daily Planet. So that is the first cover, the iconic cover of Superman. Also available, Jim Lee's Superman, which looks like it could come from, I want to say Hush, but I know that's not Hush. I think it's from still a Superman issue. Drawn by Jim Lee. Oh, here we go. Oh, so I'm going to put that one down. On the back, this one actually has a different read-up. It has the same read-up at the top, but it says, in Superman 204, there we go, that answers our question, was a giant 40-page issue that kicked off the continuing 12-part story for tomorrow, in which a cataclysmic event causes millions of people on Earth to vanish. Even Superman is affected by this tragedy, as the cover shows. Drawn by Jim Lee, 2004. The next issue for me is one of the original comics that got me interested in Superman, the Man of Steel limited series, 6-part miniseries. This was number 1. Spot actually still has this comic book. I got rid of a lot of my comic books, but I still kept the 6-part miniseries of Superman and a lot of issues that really meant something to me. On the back, the special collector's edition Man of Steel number 1 revitalized Superman for a modern audience. The origins of Kal-El were revisited and his powers reimagined. Man of Steel number 1, 1986, drawn by Dick Cordiano and John Byrne. I'm going to leave this one for the last. We've got Action Comics, Superman, more powerful than a locomotive. The back says, in 1939 edition of Action Comics number 13, readers learn for the first time that Superman has the power of flight. Since Superman number 1 was also on the stands, the Man of Steel became the first comic book character to be featured in more than one comic book. Action Comics number 13, drawn by Joe Shuster, written by Jerry Siegel. And lastly, of the book stamps, we've got Superman Annual number 1, New 52. The Man of Steel faces alien extinction. I like the suit. I kind of just wish it wasn't as super armored, but I still like the design of it. On the back, in Superman Annual number 1, 2012, the most recent cover reproduced in the series, aliens kidnap Superman and take him to a far-off galaxy, where he is forced to compete in a game in which he is the prey. Superman Annual number 1, 2012, drawn by Kenneth Ricafort. These themselves are something that I'm glad I was able to find. Spot ultimately did not pick up the coins, which Lone Tier, they just sold out. But I am happy to have gotten these stamps. These are something I'm probably going to frame. I'm probably going to get like a shadow box and get maybe all 5 of them on the sides. And then in the middle, Spot also picked up this one, which is the Day of Issue stamp. Featured on the front, the Man of Steel cover, once again, stuck to an envelope, an actual envelope, with the Superman emblem on the front there as well. On the back, 75 years. For someone with a secret identity, there's a great deal we know about Superman. He was born Kal-El on the planet of Krypton to father Jor-El and mother Lar Van. While often found in the Fortress of Solitude, he, as mild-mannered Clark Kent, now makes his home in Metropolis. This city drew inspiration from 1930s era Toronto, Ontario, the childhood home of Superman's co-creator and the Canadian-born Joe Shuster. Superman can absorb energy from the Earth's sun, which gives him superhuman strength, enhanced senses, and skin that repels bullets. He's incredibly fast, can defy gravity, and is able to see the smallest objects at great distances, as long as they aren't behind lead. He's seemingly invulnerable, except to the glow of kryptonite. His mission is to protect justice and truth. On the 75th anniversary of Superman's first appearance in Action Comics number 1, Canada Post salutes the legendary hero with this coil stamp featuring his globally recognized emblem. Unfortunately, Spot really should have picked up 2 of these, as if I was going to put these in a shadow box or frame them, I could have had one on the front and then flip it over and have this one on the back underneath. Being such an incredibly huge Superman fan, I've been a huge fan of Superman since I was probably about 4 years old, and I think I've still got a picture of me when I was a little 4-year-old boy with my Mego Superman and my Superman birthday cake. But for me, this personifies just the celebration and just the remembering of Superman, and I'm really glad I was able to pick these up. They're not super expensive. In fact, I think these are I think they were about $5 a piece, give or take, with some tax, and this was about $2. So if you are a big Superman collector and you are able to come across these, I would think these are a nice, inexpensive, but a good sound investment to celebrate, again, the Man of Steel. Today's collectible spot, we're having a look at the Canada Post Superman 75th Anniversary collectible stamps. Thanks for watching, as you always do, guys. Certainly stick around. Spot's got more collectible spots heading your way. I'll see you guys next time.